Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I'm Timothy alongside Sergio. Welcome, Sergio.
Hey everybody, hey Tim.
Welcome back, everybody. We were dark last week because of the international break, but club competition is back, so we are also back. We will be looking to having a great week in terms of bets for the weekend. As you know, we are giving out betting tips for 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Premier League, Bundesliga, and the Eredivisie. Now, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the picks for the upcoming weekend. We are starting with the Eredivisie today. First game on the schedule, NEC hosting PSV. NEC wins set at 7. PSV wins set at 1.45. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, listen, obviously PSV is the better team here, and they should win this game, but not necessarily low value in backing PSV. 145 are those good odds, Sergio?
Yes, of course. And actually, if you look at the over 3.5, it's also very interesting because PSV, if they play against NEC away, I think NEC might score a goal. So, and PSV, all the injured players will be back. So I think that will be uh, the reason to maybe go for the over 3.5.
Yeah, the over 3.5 is a good bet for this game. PSV has scored 4 times in the last 2 meetings against NEC, so you may not even need a goal from NEC to push this over 3.5. So, and obviously PSV, a very high scoring team, 81 goals in 26 games. So I can see the over hitting in this game. All right. Let's get to the next game. Sparta hosting Fortuna. Sparta wins set at 2.28. Fortuna wins set at 3.35. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now Sparta has won 1 of 5, while Fortuna has lost 1 of 5. So teams heading in opposite direction. Not really a lot to separate the teams. Fortuna 3 points above Sparta, but Sparta is slightly better goal difference. Sparta already won the first meeting, so can they win the second one, Sergio?
Yeah, they're playing at home, and Sparta, I think they haven't won a game in the Eredivisie for what was it, 4 games. So
Correct. Yes.
time for them, especially at home against Fortuna. I think Fortuna is a opponent that they can normally have at home. So I would, I'm going for a Sparta win, one of my bets this weekend.
Yeah, also like Sparta, Fortuna, they had kind of a solid road record if you look at the last 10 overall games, but they've really only beaten like Volendam, RKC, and Almere City on the road this season. Obviously, not 3 great teams there, maybe 2 of the worst teams in the league. So I also like Sparta in this spot. All right. Next up, RKC hosting Heerenveen. RKC wins set at 2.8. Heerenveen wins set at 2.55. Line for total goals 2.5. Now this game for me it looks like a draw, and the line's also telling me that Heerenveen is the better team, but they have won 3 games on the road this season. Utrecht, the beginning of the season when Utrecht was like the worst team in the league. Then they beat Vitesse on the road when Vitesse was also the worst team in the league, and the other one was against Volendam. So probably 3 of the worst teams in the league they have beaten on the road. RKC is kind of in the same boat, so I can see Heerenveen maybe sneaking out a win here, but I have a lot. I don't have a lot of confidence backing Heerenveen on the road, so and even less backing RKC. What are you doing, Sergio?
Hmm, uh, I don't agree totally with you. That you don't have any faith in RKC, I
Uh,
understand because the last 2 games they played, I think they were a little bit lucky. But Heerenveen, after losing 2 in a row, I think RKC is the opponent for them to bounce back. Um, yeah, I'm still leaning towards Heerenveen to win this game.
Yeah, like I said, I understand there are reasons to lean towards Heerenveen. They have beaten 3 teams on the road this season, 3 very bad teams at that point, and like RKC is also one of the worst teams in the league. So I can see Heerenveen and getting a win, but man, I just don't have a lot of confidence backing them for a win. Maybe I'll just take a double chance for Heerenveen.
Uh,
That
I'm just going for a Heerenveen win. Heerenveen will win. If there's a game that away game still to win for them, it's this one. Like you said, they won three from three of the worst teams.
Yeah,
Well,
Vitesse Volendam, yes.
RKC will be the fourth then.
All right, all right, we'll see. I'm also leaning towards Heerenveen, so I kind of agree with you. All right, next up, Go Ahead Eagles hosting Excelsior. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 1.56. Excelsior win set at 5.8. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now the line for Go Ahead Eagles was a little bit higher. It was like 1.8. It opened at like 1.8. Now it dropped down to 1.56. Now I don't really like it. Not a lot of value, but I still like Go Ahead Eagles to win this game. They have not won and scored in back-to-back games. The last one was a tough loss against Heracles, but the international break came at the right time. They returned home, and Excelsior had won 2 games on the road at the beginning of the season, but after that, pretty much nothing. So the Eagles win is the play here, right?
Yeah, Eagles win. Excelsior, they haven't won a game in like 8. So 8 matches. So yeah, I'm also leaning towards Go Ahead, but not a lot of value. Go Ahead is 7th in the competition,
Yeah.
and Excelsior. This is not a game for Excelsior. I don't think they even hope for a win here. So it's maybe a draw, but
All right. All right, let's get to the next game. AZ hosting Vitesse. AZ wins set at 1.27. Vitesse wins set at 12.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, I don't really have a bet in this game. Vitesse has been playing better of late, but I really can't see them going on the road and beating AZ. Can you see anything happening here?
yeah, AZ they seem to score a lot against the relegations team. They in the last 2 matches they scored like 8 goals against Excelsior, and I
Yes.
think it was 4.
Volendam, yes.
And the Vitesse is in the same boat as those two. So I would maybe go for the over 3.5. Also interesting.
Yeah, that might be the play here. All right, let's get to the next game. PEC hosting Ajax. PEC wins set at 4.75. Ajax wins set at 1.77. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now listen, just hammer Ajax here. 1.77. It's overall not great value, but for Ajax, it's great value. Listen, Ajax, they're not having the best season, obviously. They've had their struggles, but this line is really inflated, and I think it's really disrespectful towards Ajax. 1.77. Give me Ajax, one of my favorite bets this weekend. What are you doing, Sergio?
Oh yeah, I think I understand why they put it out like this, because PEC Zwolle, I think they draw in against the Ajax in Amsterdam, so I think that's maybe the reason, and also because their striker, I think Brobby, I think he's not playing yet. So
Yeah, Broby's ruled out. I know Ajax, and it was a draw the first meeting, but Ajax was up 2-0, and PEC kind of came back and scored a goal late to make it 2-2. But I
yes,
really can't see that happening again.
in the arena. So
Yeah, but Ajax was not in great form. And I know they're not in much better form still at the moment, but listen, man, you just have to take Ajax here.
yeah, yes, I'm not going for a PEC win, but it won't be a easy game for Ajax. Let's keep it at that.
All right, still like Ajax. All right, next game, Twente hosting Heracles. Twente wins set at 1.24. Heracles wins set at 14. Line for total goals 3.5. Now listen, line 14 tells you what you need to know. Heracles is not winning this game, right?
No, Heracles is not. Actually, it's a derby, but this time it will be a really one-sided one. So Twente will win this game, and maybe even a huge, a big score here.
All right. So maybe look at the over, but other than that, just stay away from this game. Next up, Feyenoord hosting Utrecht. Feyenoord wins set at 1.35. Utrecht wins set at 9.5. Line for total goals 3.5. Now Utrecht also a streaky team, but I can't see them going on the road and beating Feyenoord in the curve. Can you see that happening here?
Oh, that will be very difficult, I think. Feyenoord, I don't know if they have access to all of their players, but
No one is ruled out. Some players are questionable. We'll see.
yeah, but no, maybe a double chance. You know, the first game after the interland break, I think Feyenoord had a lot of players going for the national team, so playing for the national team. So
Yeah, I agree with you. That is really something to keep an eye on when you have these bigger teams who and the players play international duty, and now they play against smaller teams who basically had 2 weeks of rest. So
yeah.
maybe a good chance to back the underdogs.
Yes, and Utrecht is a team that's usually causing troubles for the big teams, so you never know. But maybe a double chance, Utrecht.
All right. Next game, Almere City hosting Volendam. Almere City went set at 1.45. Volendam went set at 7.5. Line for total goals 2.5. Now, the only thing I'm looking at here is the over 2.5 goals. I don't understand why the line for Almere City is that low. Heavy favorite 1.45. I know Volendam's the worst team in the league, but still, Almere City is not that good, right?
No, I think it's because Almere City, when they're playing at home, they were difficult to beat even for the big teams. I think Ajax had a lot of trouble there. AZ also, so Volendam, the players there, yeah, they have already given up, I think. So
Yeah, they've already packed their bags, but still,
yeah,
I don't think Almere City has scored like 26 goals in 26 games, so not a very high scoring team. And I know that doesn't really speak to the over 2.5 I like here, but that's just because Volendam has allowed 67 goals this season, so I can see the over 2.5 hitting here.
yeah, that's a lot. But Almere City, they will still win.
All right. Now that wraps up Eredivisie. Let's get to the Bundesliga. First game on the schedule, Werder Bremen hosting Wolfsburg. Werder Bremen wins set at 2.88. Wolfsburg wins set at 2.48. Line for total goals 2.5. Now, 2 weeks ago, we both liked Wolfsburg because they did not win in like 10 games. Well, now it's 11. So, but listen, man, they started the game well, but they picked up a red card. So that's something you can't predict. Kind of unfortunate. Now they go on the road where they have not been good all season. So can you see them picking up a win here?
Yeah, no, whether number 10 and in a competition, okay, the point difference, it's not that big, it's only 5. Yeah, but still, I don't see Wolfsburg winning an away game after not winning 11. So, no, and rather also they lost the last 4, uh,
Yeah.
didn't win in the last 5. So, I'm thinking of a draw here, even.
Yeah, I'm also leaning much more towards a draw in this spot. I have to agree with you there. All right, next game, Eintracht Frankfurt hosting Union. Frankfurt wins set at 2.04. Union wins set at 3.95. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Union won against Hoffenheim on the road, but that game was fluky. 2 red cards in the game. They have one more road win. That came against Darmstadt at the beginning of the season. So do the math. Darmstadt's the worst team. So even though Frankfurt is kind of inconsistent to say the least, at home, they should not have too much trouble with Union, right?
No, I don't think so. And also the over 2.5 is really interesting here in this game. I see maybe Frankfurt winning, but still Union maybe scoring a goal. So um, Frankfurt win and both teams to score, or the over 2.5 are very interesting ones.
Yeah, I kind of had a bet builder for this game. I had the total goals for the game at over 1.5 and a draw or win for Frankfurt. If you combine those two, make it a bet builder, the line's at like 1.6. Not great value, but good value. And I believe that should hit easily. So you can just cash that one in. 1.6 over 1.5 goals for the total game. Double chance for Frankfurt. All right, next game, Leipzig hosting Mainz. Leipzig wins set at 1.36. Mainz wins set at 8.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, the only play I like here is Leipzig halftime, full time. Mainz is just awful. No, you can make a case to back them. Are you doing something here?
No, actually, I'm skipping this one. Leipzig, yeah, of course for a win, but like you said, maybe a halftime, full time, yeah, but who knows? Maybe the halftime is 0-0 and Leipzig wins, still wins with 4-0. So, I'm staying away from this one.
All right, next game, Borussia Mönchengladbach hosting Freiburg. Gladbach wins set at 2.23. Freiburg wins set at 3.1. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Where are you going here, Sergio?
Leaning towards Mönchengladbach. Yeah, I know it seems they have, picking up where they left off. I think it was in, or it was a practice game they played.
The last one they won against April.
Yes, against Eben.
Yeah, that was a friendly.
Not counting that one, they haven't won in 4. So I think against Freiburg, it's a small chance for them to come a little bit closer to the top 10.
Yeah, and if you look at Freiburg's road record, also not great. They have not scored in 3 of the last 5. One win that came against Bochum, so not a great team. Gladbach usually a solid home team, so I can see them getting the win here. So it's a lean, not one of my best bets, a lean towards Gladbach. All right, next game, Leverkusen hosting Hoffenheim. Leverkusen wins set at 1.21. Hoffenheim wins set at 12.5. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, we gotta ask this question again, right? Is this the week Leverkusen's losing?
No, I don't think it will be Hoffenheim. But usually it happens when you don't expect, but not at home and not against Hoffenheim. That would be a little bit impossible and really weird if they lose.
They're kind of trending going, finishing the season undefeated, right? It's kind of trending. It's trending in that direction.
Yes, I think, and they have a really big chance.
All right. Next game, Bayern Munich hosting Dortmund. Obviously, the game of the week in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich wins set at 1.44. Dortmund wins set at 6.4. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, listen, you just have to take Bayern in the spot. I know they've been vulnerable this season, but they have been smashing Dortmund for years, and I can't see Dortmund going into Bayern Munich and picking up a win here. Also, the first meeting was also a Bayern Munich just rolled Dortmund, and I can see the same happening here. But I do like a bet in this game that's Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score. Are you doing something here?
I don't agree with you about everything, but this one, I don't know. I have a small feeling that Dortmund will maybe do a good job.
I can't see that happening.
Because the first game, usually if the first game the score was this huge, I don't think the same thing will happen again. I think that Dortmund is a lot better than in the beginning of the season.
Listen, the last time Dortmund beat Bayern Munich in a road game, Jurgen Klopp was still the coach. So that was 10 years ago. Listen, Dortmund's not beating Bayern Munich in the spot. Trust me, it's not happening.
The longer it takes, the closer it gets. So
yeah, I understand, but it's not happening. It's just not happening. My bet, Bayern Munich wins, both teams to score. All right. Next game, Augsburg hosting Köln. Augsburg wins set at 1.78. Köln wins set at 4.7. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Augsburg on a roll, but they still have a goal difference of only +1, allowing over 1.5 goals a game. Köln, the lowest scoring team, but I can still see this one going over 2.5 goals. So what are you doing here, Sergio?
I wouldn't go for the over 2.5, but still for Augsburg, at 1.8, I think it's a very interesting odd. Especially against Keulen. Keulen is like number 17 in the league. Yeah, so no, just a Augsburg win. It maybe a 1-0 win. I see happening. So
I kind of like the over 2.5. I can see Keulen scoring a goal here. But obviously not one of my favorite bets. Let's get to the next game. Stuttgart hosting Heidenheim. Stuttgart wins set at 1.3. Heidenheim wins set at 9.5. Line for total goals 3.5. Now, this is a game where I'm looking at the over 3.5. Stuttgart, a very high scoring team, especially at home. And I can also see Heidenheim picking up scoring a goal here. So what do you like here, Sergio?
yeah, Heidenheim. I don't think they'll score a goal. The over 3.5 is a little bit more interesting for me. I think I'm going for the over 3.5 in this one.
Yeah, but that's what I said. I like the over 2.5. I
Yeah.
can see Stuttgart scoring like 3 goals with Heidenheim, maybe 1. So the over 2.5 would be my play here.
Yeah, I think that will be it. Yeah, for me too.
All right, next game, Bochum hosting Darmstadt. Bochum wins set at 1.67. Darmstadt wins set at 5.2. Lions for total goal set at 2.5. Now this kind of has a Almere City Volendam feeling. Well, Bochum is Bochum's kind of a heavy favorite, but they're not that good. I know Darmstadt like the worst team in the league, just like Volendam's in the Eredivisie, but Bochum shouldn't be favored that much, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. I'm staying away from this one. This one looks
Yeah, it
looks like
stinks.
a
It
draw.
stinks.
Yeah,
It really
I don't
stinks.
know why the difference is this big, but it's uh, it's just a draw for me.
All right. Now that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to the Serie A. First game on the schedule, Napoli hosting Atalanta. Napoli wins set at 2.12. Atalanta wins set at 3.45. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Atalanta's game before the break got cancelled, while Napoli picked up a good result against Inter. And I believe that will carry over into this game. Napoli has been solid at home under the new coach. Only lost against Inter. Atalanta was on a hot streak, but not a lot of road wins in that stretch. As a matter of fact, they struggled, especially against the good teams on the road. So I like Napoli in this spot. I also have a bet builder for this game. Napoli, a double chance for Napoli and over 1.5 goals for the game. Sets at 1.55. It was kind of higher earlier in the week, but I still like that bet. What are you doing here, Sergio?
I'm kind of leaning towards Atalanta. I think the Napoli when they played against Inter, I think they were maybe a little bit lucky. So no, I'm still leaning towards Atalanta to win this one.
All right. I kind of like Napoli more. Next game, Genoa hosting Frosinone. Genoa wins set at 1.95. Frosinone wins set at 4.1. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, last Frosinone road game, there was only 1 goal. But if you look at the other games, a lot of goals, and that speaks to the goals they've allowed this season, 60 goals. So while Genoa is not a really high scoring team, they should be able to exploit this weak defense for Frosinone. So I'm kind of looking at the over 2.5 goals in this game. What are you doing here, Sergio?
I'm just going for a Genoa win. That's a very interesting odd also. And Frosinone, yeah, the over 2.5. I don't think so. Maybe Genoa wins 2-0 or maybe even a 1-0. I'm just going for a Genoa win at 1.96 is very interesting.
All right, that's not a bad bet. I like the over 2.5. Now let's get to the next game. Torino hosting Monza. Torino wins set at 1.88. Monza wins set at 4.7. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, I don't really have a bet in this game. Only 1 point separates the teams. Neither team scores at a high clip, so maybe I would look at the under 2.5 goals, but not really doing anything here. Are you doing something?
No, this one is a stay away from me. A 0-0 I see happening. Yeah, no, I'm skipping this one.
All right, let's get to the next game. Lazio hosting Juve. Lazio wins set at 3.15. Juve wins set at 2.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Lazio, they sacked their coach and they immediately got a win under the new coach. And Juve might need to do the same. One win in the last 8 games. First game looked like an easy win for Juve, but they defended and countered. Not a lot of ball possession. I think they will have the same approach here. So I'm kind of leaning towards Juve. Kind of a double chance for Juventus here. What are you doing, Sergio?
The win from Lazio wasn't that impressive. They did it against Frosinone, and they almost made it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So this one is also a difficult one for me. To choose a side, because this one, even two teams in trouble, usually that ends up in a draw.
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at a double chance for Juve and the under 2.5 goals in this spot. That would put the line at 1.98. That's kind of good value for this game. I can see that happening here. The lean is towards Juve. All right, next game, also an interesting game. Also maybe a tough one to call. Fiorentina hosting AC Milan. Fiorentina wins set at 2.85. AC Milan wins set at 2.55. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now Milan is hot, 5 straight wins, but Fiorentina also undefeated in 6. Fiorentina 3 losses at home. This season, one against Empoli, very fluky, but they had almost 80% ball possession and 20 shots. So I don't know how they lost that game. You have some of those games, right? Other two were against Inter and Juve, and they actually played well in both games. So they're kind of a very good home team, which is why I'm leaning towards Fiorentina in this spot. A double chance for Fiorentina. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Fiorentina, Milan, it's a game I'm always skipping because I think it was 8 years ago. I could have won like 4,000 euro, and Milan was, I think it was 2-0 up, and they still, I think, lost or drew a game against Fiorentina. So me, I'm not betting this game, never again. So it's this one is a skip for me. But
yeah, it was 2013. It was 2013.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 2013.
Yeah, and listen,
Never forget that day.
Fiorentina also had a red card in that game, and they still came back down 0-2. So
Yeah, so, yeah. So
that was a tough one.
so I was already spending the money, and and it went the wrong way still. So no, this game, it's I'm skipping this one.
All right, no problem. I'm leaning towards Fiorentina. Like I said, they've been solid at home, actually good. So the lean is towards Fiorentina. All right, next game, Bologna hosting Salernitana. Bologna wins set at 1.32. Salernitana wins set at 10. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, obviously, Bologna the better team. They're playing at home. Salernitana just an awful team. So the only thing I'm looking here is kind of like the Leipzig Mainz game where I'm looking like halftime, full-time Bologna. But other than that, I don't really have a play in this game, and you really can't take Salernitana, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. I'm also skipping this one. This one is no, not a game with a lot of interesting odds. Over 2.5 is at 1.72. Yeah, no, also not that interesting.
All right, next game, Cagliari hosting Hellas Verona. Cagliari wins set at 2.28. Verona wins set at 3.55. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, these teams are about the same, and a play here would be both teams to score. The line is set at 1.84. I could really see that happening. Slight lean towards Cagliari. Verona won their last road game, and I really can't see them winning 2 road games in a row. So what are you doing, Sergio?
Not a lot separates these two teams. So usually when you see that, yeah, number 15 and 16 in the league, even on points, I'm leaning towards a draw here.
Yeah, and that's why my play here is both teams to score. I can really see that happening. All right, next game. Now this is a game where this is a game I won't be betting. Sassuolo hosting Udinese. Sassuolo wins set at 2.95. Udinese wins set at 2.6. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Udinese, they can beat very good teams. They beat Lazio, they beat Juve, they beat Milan, even going on the road, but they can't win against mediocre and bad teams. Well, Sassuolo has one win in the last 10 games, so what's going on here?
Yeah. I don't know why it's also that for Udinese, but I have a feeling that this game they will win. So yeah, I know it's an away game, but against Sassuolo, yeah, I think if they still want to get 3 points this season, this is one of the games they should get it. I have a lean towards Udinese.
All right. Next game, Lecce hosting Roma. Lecce wins set at 4.4. Roma wins set at 1.87. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, I like two plays in this game, the over 2.5 and Roma to win. Not a same game parlay, just two separate bets for this game, over 2.5 and Roma to win. Roma has been great under De Rossi, right? They have just been spectacular. They basically lost one game. Yeah, I know they lost against Brighton, but they still advanced. That game was like kind of in the bag because they smashed Brighton in the first meeting, so they still advanced. The other loss was against Inter, where they played very well and really gave Inter a run for their money. So I can see Lecce troubling Roma here, and they also have been scoring at a very high clip. So I also like the over 2.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, the over 2.5 is definitely one of the odds I'm looking at, but the only hesitation is Roma, yeah, away, maybe. I don't see Lecce scoring, maybe, but I don't really see that happening. So I'm just going for the Roma win.
All right. Next game, Inter hosting Empoli. Inter wins set at 1.22. Empoli wins set at 13. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Don't have a bet here. Obviously, Inter, the best team, should win. They're probably running away with the Scudetto. I don't know how motivated they will be given they get knocked out of the Champions League. So maybe the under 3.5. Maybe they're mad. It goes over the 3.5. I'm just staying away from this game. Or are you doing something here?
No, not really, but the over 3.5, I would rather do that than the under 3.5 for sure.
Yeah, because obviously they're the better team and they could easily score 4 goals against Empoli. All right, that wraps up Serie A. Let's get to La Liga. Now, we're recording a little bit late this week, so we're kind of skipping the Friday game. The first one is Cadiz hosting Granada. Two awful teams, so we're not really missing anything. My lean would be towards Cadiz because they have been solid at home, but listen, man, we're just skipping that game. So let's get to Getafe hosting Sevilla. Getafe wins set at 2.6. Sevilla wins set at 3. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Sergio, what are you doing here?
Not Sevilla, that's for sure.
Good choice. Good choice.
That's Sevilla, that's for sure. I think Getafe. I think Getafe will win this game. They won against Girona 1-0. I think they played a very good game after not winning in 4 games. But Sevilla, I don't see them winning an away game, especially not against Getafe.
Yeah, and these teams already met twice this season. Both won a meeting. Sevilla was very fortunate to win the meeting. They did. Expected goals were about the same, and Getafe just dominated possession. So I can see Sevilla repeating that performance. So the lean here is obviously towards Getafe, and I'm really gonna sprinkle something on just a Getafe win because their odds are very interesting. All right. Next game, Almeria hosting Osasuna. Almeria wins set at 2.65. Osasuna wins set at 2.95. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, these are also some interesting odds, but it's really hard to trust either team. First meeting saw only 1 goal, and I can see the same happening here. So I'm kind of looking closely at the under 2.5. 6 of the last 7 Almeria games have been draws. 4 of those have been 0-0 draws. So and neither team really scores that much, so that's why I'm looking at the under. Are you doing something, you said you?
Yeah. Uh, Lean towards Osasuna, but that's only because they're higher up the table. So, other than that, I don't see none of these two scoring more than one goal even. So,
Yeah.
no, it's a stay away for me.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right, next game, Valencia hosting Mallorca. Valencia wins set at 2.04. Mallorca wins set at 4.9. Line for the total goals set at 1.5. Now that's a very low total, so I just have to take the over 1.5 goals here. But I like Valencia for a win. Valencia has won one of the last five, but if you look closely at their home record in the league, undefeated in the last 10, while Mallorca has one road win that came very early in the season against a Celta team that has already fired their coach. So I just have to take Valencia for a win here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm also going for a Valencia win. Also one of my bets this weekend. My favorite bets.
All right. Next game, Barcelona hosting Las Palmas. Barcelona wins set at 1.26. Las Palmas wins set at 11.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, I think Barcelona should win this game, even though Las Palmas sometimes they can play well. You don't know what team's gonna show up, but Barcelona should win this game. Just too low value backing Barcelona, so I'm not betting this game. Are you doing something here?
Las Palmas, I don't think they'll cause any trouble. Haven't won in the last 5 games. Number 11, yeah, they cause trouble for other teams, but I think Barcelona is still a little bit too difficult for them.
All right, I agree with you there. Let's get to the next game. Celta hosting Rayo. Celta wins set at 1.97. Rayo wins set at 4.35. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Celta, they fired Rafa Benitez, got a new coach, and got a good win against Sevilla last time out. Now they go home and host Rayo, a awful team. So I can see Rayo getting back-to-back wins because the last game they won was in like forever. In the last 6 road games, they have not scored more than once. And Celta played really well under the new coach, as I mentioned. So Celta win is actually one of my favorite bets for this weekend. Are you doing something here?
I'm not putting too much value on a win over Sofia, so
It was a road win. It was a road win. It was a road win.
yeah, but tell it was Sofia. But against Rayo, I can agree with you. I'm also leaning towards Celta to win this one.
All right, next game, Girona hosting Betis. Girona wins set at 1.77. Betis wins set at 4.6. Line for total goals, 2.5. Now listen, Girona is just, if you look at the last 5 games, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So what's following now? A win, especially given they're playing at home and all the games they've lost have been on the road. The games they've won been at home. So I guess they will win this game, right?
Yeah, and also the last game was definitely a disappointment for them. So Girona at home, yeah, I think they'll win this game against Real Betis.
Yeah, Girona has not been great on the road. If you look at the last 4 road games, they've lost all of them. But if you look at their home form, just still spectacular. All right, next game, Real Madrid hosting Athletic Bilbao. Madrid wins set at 1.57. Bilbao wins set at 6.1. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, obviously, Madrid's still the better team, but Bilbao, when things are clicking, they look like one of the better teams in the league. So can they trouble Real Madrid here?
Yeah, it's possible. It can maybe even end up in a draw. So I would uh I would maybe try a double chance Athletic Bilbao, but very small chance of that happening. But still, if there's a team that can cause trouble in Bernabeu, it's definitely Athletic Bilbao is one of those 3 teams.
And can you see the over 2.5 hitting in this game?
Yeah, the over 2.5. Of course, I see Athletic Bilbao maybe even scoring a goal. So over 2.5 if Real Madrid wins is definitely possible.
All right. Let's get to the next game. Alaves hosting Sociedad. Alaves wins set at 3.5. Sociedad wins set at 2.43. Line for total goals set at 1.5. And I'm also not expecting a lot of goals here. After getting knocked out of the Champions League, Sociedad got back-to-back wins. So they kind of shift their focus to the league. But Alaves at home has been very good. The only loss in the last 6 games was against Barcelona. So they maybe can trouble Sociedad here, sneak out a draw. What are you doing, Sergio?
I'm still leaning towards Sociedad win. They had a good form the last 2 games after losing 4 in a row. So yeah, it's a small lean towards Sociedad to win this one.
Yeah, just a small one. I would agree. All right. Next up, Villarreal hosting Atletico Madrid. Villarreal wins set at 3.15. Atletico Madrid wins set at 2.28. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Villarreal has won 4 of 5 and lost 1 out of the last 11 at home. Well, Atletico Madrid beat Inter to advance in the Champions League, but they've really been struggling of late, especially on the road, winning just 2 out of the last 12 on the road against Lugo in the Copa del Rey, and the other one was against Granada. So the international break may came at a perfect time for them, but they have some things to figure out. What are you doing here?
Villarreal, they always cause a little bit trouble for Atletico Madrid. The wins against Villarreal for Atletico Madrid haven't been easy the last 6 or 7 games. 4 of them were a draw. So I'm leaning towards Villarreal, maybe a double chance.
All right. Now that wraps up La Liga. Let's get to the Premier League. First game on the schedule, Newcastle United hosting West Ham. Newcastle wins set at 1.8. West Ham wins set at 4.25. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now Newcastle lost back-to-back games before the break, but both were on the road. But even at home, they've not been doing well at the moment. Won 1 out of the last 5. West Ham also not in the best form, especially on the road. They have not scored in 3 of the last 4 road games and 5 of the last 7. So that's kind of a trend here. The safe play for me here is Newcastle over 1.5 goals. Not great value set at 1.55, but that would be my only play for this game because Newcastle, when they play at home, they usually score more than once, around like 80% of their home games. So that would be my play here. Are you doing something here?
No, like I'm the over 3.5. I I think I'll go that way. Yeah, over 3.5 for this game.
All right. Next game, Tottenham hosting Luton. Tottenham wins set at 1.24. Luton wins set at 12.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Obviously, Tottenham the better team. They're playing at home, so they should win this game. Too low value, so not backing Tottenham in the spot, not doing anything here. Are you doing something?
I think it will be an easy win for Tottenham, especially because they're playing at home. So, but maybe an over. But yeah, that's also not that interesting. So
Also kind of a risky bet taking the over 3.5.
yeah.
All right. Next game, Sheffield hosting Fulham. Sheffield wins set at 4.7. Fulham wins set at 1.76. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, you can't make a case for Sheffield even if you wanted to, even if they're playing at home. They have not scored in 3 straight home games. But there is a bet I like in this game, and that's the over 2.5, because the over 2.5 has hit in 10 of the last 11 away games for Fulham. So one of my favorite bets for the weekend, the over 2.5 in this game. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, but I don't think it has that much value. So
It's set at 1.62. Not great value, but sneaky good value.
yeah, it's one to try, but yeah, Sheffield at home, the chances are that it's just maybe 0-1 or 0-2. So I think they'll only defend.
Maybe they score a goal and I can see Fulham winning. So that's why I like the over 2.5. All right. Next game, Forest hosting Palace. Forest wins set at 2.25. Palace wins set at 3.55. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now I just have a lean towards Forest here, but also two teams kind of very close to each other. So not really doing anything here. Are you doing something?
The over 2.5. I was looking at this game. If you look at the last, I think it was 5 games. It's 1 goal, 0 goals. So
Yeah, but taking the over 2.5 goals in Crystal Palace games are always kind of tricky. So I don't really like the over 2.5 here.
no, but this one looks like more like a draw for me. So it's a stay away.
Yeah, especially given it's kind of a sneaky relegation battle. Palace is not safe yet. I know they're 8 points above the drop. Forest is number 18 right now, so Forest really has to pick up points, but Palace really can't afford to drop points against these lowly teams. So I can really see them defending here and maybe the under 2.5 hitting in this spot. All right. Next game, Bournemouth hosting Everton. Bournemouth wins set at 2.28. Everton wins set at 3.25. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, when Everton got points deducted, they won 4 straight, but now 1 win in the last 13 games and just awful on the road. But Bournemouth's form has also dipped a bit. 1 win in the last 5 home games. So, who do you like here?
Actually, none of these two. Yeah, Everton, a team you can't count on for nothing, not even scoring goals. So, so I'm Bournemouth, but only because they're playing at home. But yeah, and they're what 13th in the league. So yeah, I'm a lean towards Bournemouth, but that's only because they're playing at home.
All right. Next game, Chelsea hosting Burnley. Chelsea wins set at 1.32. Burnley wins set at 10.5. Line total goal set at 3.5. Now listen, I know I really don't like Burnley because they're just one of the worst teams in the league. But sometimes they surprise me. But I really can't see them going on the road against Chelsea and picking up points here. So my play here would be Chelsea halftime, full time. Burnley's just awful. I always fade them. Are you doing something here?
Burnley surprises now and then when they when they have a good game, but still Chelsea, yeah, no, that's a little bit too difficult for them.
Yeah, and Burnley won the last game against Brentford, but Brentford picked up a red card in the like within 10 minutes. Burnley scored a penalty, and after that, they really still had trouble putting Brentford away. So I really can't see Burnley doing anything here. All right, let's get to the next game. Aston Villa hosting Wolves. Villa wins set at 1.64. Wolves wins set at 5.4. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Villa has been one of the best home teams in this season, but when they picked up their first loss, it kind of went down like a spiral. If you look at the last 7 home games, they have lost 4. So, what is going on here, Sergio?
Yeah, I think the team is at the beginning of the season they were still all full of the energy. I think the energy is gone a little bit, and Wolverhampton hasn't been a easy opponent for them in the last 5 games they played against each other. So I lean towards Villa, but it won't be an easy game for them.
Yeah, I also kind of like Villa to win this game, but I agree with you, it won't be an easy win. All right, next game, Brentford hosting United. Brentford wins set at 2.95. United wins set at 2.38. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, my bet here in this game is Manchester United over 1.5 goals, set at 1.85. Brentford basically allows 2 goals in almost every game, so that's just an easy play for me here. One of my favorite bets: United over 1.5 goals, and I can see United winning this game. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Yeah, I'm going for a United win in this one. So United away, yeah, but always difficult. But against Brentford, I think it's the one that's possible for them.
All right. Next game, Liverpool hosting Brighton. Liverpool wins set at 1.38. Brighton wins set at 8. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, the line for Liverpool was a little bit higher, but still obviously not great value. They're playing at home, and they should win this game, especially given the next game, City will be hosting Arsenal. So Liverpool knows this is a great chance for them to put some distance between one of those two teams. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, Liverpool win, but not much value. Yeah, like you said, they know this is a must-win for them, and I think they will also win it.
All right, next game, Manchester City hosting Arsenal. City wins set at 1.96. Arsenal wins set at 4.1. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I like City in this spot. I also like City over 1.5 goals. Listen, 22 games without a defeat for City. Arsenal has not gone on the road to beat City since 2015. Can you guess who the coach was for Arsenal at that time?
Wenger, of course.
Yes, Wenger was still the coach. So listen, man, since Guardiola took over, Arsenal has not gone on the road to beat City, and it's not happening here. I guarantee you that. So give me City for a win. Are you doing something here?
Yes, I'm leaning towards Arsenal.
No, please
Yes,
don't.
yes,
Please
yes,
don't.
I am. Yes, yes, I am. But I'm gonna be a little bit more careful. I'm going for a double chance for Arsenal.
All right. I can see it. Yeah, best case for Arsenal I can see is a draw, but I really can't see a win. Obviously, if you would take a double chance for City, the odds would be too low, 1.27. But I would just play City over 1.5 goals. And listen, like I said, Arsenal is not winning this game. I really can't see that happening.
Yeah, maybe not, but like you said, it took like forever for them to, be first in the league after what is it? Over how many games they played already in the competition?
28.
28, and they've never been in the first position after Wagner even left. So this is a chance for them against City.
Last year they kind of had a good chance in going towards the end of the season to win the Premier League. But you know who beat them and kind of knocked them out of the race? It was Manchester City. So listen, man, it's gonna happen again. Trust me. All right.
Okay, for a double chance.
All right. Now that wraps up the Premier League, and that wraps up all picks and leans for the upcoming weekend. Quick recap for my best bets. I have Manchester City over 1.5 goals. I have Ajax for a right-out win. I have United over 1.5 goals. Sheffield versus Fulham. I have over 2.5 goals for that game. Celta for a win. Valencia for a win. And I have a bet builder in the Frankfurt Union game. Over 1.5 goals for the game and a double chance for Frankfurt. What are your best bets, Sergio?
I have over 3.5 for NEC playing against PSV Eindhoven. I have a Sparta win, Heerenveen win, of course, Eintracht Frankfurt win, and over 2.5 for Lecce Roma.
All right, now that wraps up the best bets for us. Now, everybody have a great weekend, and like we always say, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means.
Yes, have a great weekend, everybody.